What's up, YouTube? COD 4Man221 here, and welcome back to another Coming Up Heroes 2 online replay, the finale of Season 2. It has been 100 episodes I've done on Company of Heroes. I haven't done 100 episodes on any specific series, but I love COH 2 so much, and it's quite fun. I enjoy playing it a lot, so yeah. So you can see up here, there's actually a wreck here for me, and I was going to try to salvage it, but then I saw, a lot of riflemen up here. We're playing with Nick again. Nick is the basic Wehrmacht. I'm the OKW. Haven't been them in a while, and there's been a video for a while with the OKW, so that's why. So I'm trying a new doctrine. I haven't tried, well, not new doctrine. I haven't tried the Luftwaffe Ground Forces doctrine in a while. It gives me the basic, heavy fortifications like tank traps, flak emplacements, and trenches, which is awesome. But what it really gives me is a machine gun and the Fallschirmjägers, which I haven't used in a while. And they're probably one of the best units in the game, as we'll see. So I'm like, this is starting out great. I'm getting volley fired and getting shot to pieces by a bunch of riflemen. I am setting up behind this wall here, though, trying to give me some light cover. My men are, because they're in the bushes right here, it's giving me some light cover. But he's just going to go around and just, have the cover for himself from these units and just start shooting away. They do the M1 Grands. It will win in this fight. But I focused fire and I was able to push that unit back. And I'm getting closer to this unit right here. I have a machine gun out. I'm hopping over the wall trying to absorb some fire. Going to pull back with that unit. And these guys are having some free shots, and the riflemen, before they're going to be these guys are going to be forced back, basically. So yeah, he's kept up the momentum. He's already got 3 rifleman squads out. And I have these guys and a machine gun. I'm reinforcing these units right here. I'm going to head up with the machine gun. And basically, I'm planning to build, just going to build this right now. Just set a forward, just be able to heal up my guys so I can go back into combat. I didn't want to set my base up too far. I didn't want to set up like right around here because I figured that could be pushed back. What you want to do with your base with the OKWs, you do not want your base to be too close to the front lines where you could just be sniped by a quick attack by Jacksons, right? You got to be careful, especially on the building, the Panther Square headquarters. That building is 80 fuel. That's a lot of fuel for you to build that building just to lose like that. So I'm actually going to reinforce up here. And instead of machine gun, kind of push this unit back here. I'm getting pushed back at this point. Nick is holding his own, though, which is good. He has a machine gun in this house. Right? This is a very important house in rails and metal right here. And he has a bunker set up. Now, if he was able to flank around and throw a satchel charge, that'd be devastating on that bunker. Piano troops are really like bunker busters. So I'll move up right here. Now, I do not see him. I know he's behind the wall, obviously. So I'm reinforcing my troops right here and getting them healed up and getting ready to go again, as I'm doing right there. And my opponent, Paul, is gathering more riflemen. So he's 3 rifleman squads right now. 4th one was, he retreated, is now going to come back and reinforce. Surprisingly, these countries are doing a good job, even though they are kind of in the open. Well, that's a little bit of light cover. But there's snipers that are doing some real damage. The bunker is in a good position right here. Anyway, so my attack's going down. I'm pushing up by my machine gun trying to suppress units. These units are going to, those guys have to fall back. These guys are behind the heavy cover. This is not a poor assault by me, but I had to kind of figure out where he was. And my main goal is to keep all my men alive, and I'm going to shift my suppressing fire around to that unit. I can throw grenades, which I did, and it killed some units here. I'm going to be forced to fall back. So now I have my 2nd MG right here that's going to pin these units. So basically my MGs are set up in a crossing fire. And as soon as he tries to come around, I think what he was trying to do is because of fog of war, I cannot really see this unit, and he wanted to kind of be it so maybe try to unpin that unit, but it didn't end up working there for him. So Eyeballs Grenadier is going to push up. He's been forced back with a lot of his troops, and he has some rear echelons right there. Nick was first fell back with his MG right there. They've cut our supply line, so we're not getting any of that fuel right now, which is not good. Actually, no, we are getting the fuel because this is connected up, but it's not good to have disconnected fuel like that. I'm starting to take this point, once again, healing and reinforcing my men. I'll have to do the reinforcement back at base, come over here so they can start getting healed up. So you can see like there, I clicked reinforce back at base, came up here and get my man healed up there, like I just said. And my machine guns are moving up. I've taken up positions on here to kind of. I really want to be able to lock this area down, and I don't really want to salvage that vehicle right there. It doesn't provide any cover for my enemies, but it gives me some basic fuel. So I'm gonna try this new unit, the Fallschirmjägers. I've used these for, I used to use these men really early on, but for some reason they deployed all the way down here. You can deploy them out of houses, I believe. I don't think. Maybe Fallschirmjägers can deploy it out of houses. Probably. I guess I should have deployed them out of this house or something, but it's okay. So you can see I salvaged it. I got a little bit more fuel from that. We're at 9. Now I almost have 100 fuel. And Nick has a mortar, and he's a really light force up here. You can see these snipers sneaking right past the MG. That's pretty cool. I mean, not for Nick, obviously. So I see that the big force here, he went with a captain, so he's going for, like, he thinks I'm going to get some kind of early tank or something. You only want the captain if you're afraid of a light vehicle, so possibly to ward off any kind of flat cap track he thinks I may be able to produce, or even go after a Stukasufus if he gets behind my lines. But frankly, I'm happy to defend this section here. I have a heavy cover because of the walls, and I'm going to put down some sandbags to protect my Volksgrenadiers. Meanwhile, I just took this center. And you can see he's moving up with kind of a big force of riflemen here. He has 4 rifleman squads right now. That is their only real U.S. infantry. I'm surprised you don't have rangers yet. I mean, it's already in the game. But look, here we go. Heavy cover, FG-42s with a scope. Very deadly unit. Racking up some fire, doing a lot of HP damage to these guys. He's doing 2 assaults at the same time. I just had to turn my machine gun here to kind of quell this assault. And then the machine guns, and my other machine gun right here is doing a decent amount of damage. So I'm even grabbing more Fallschirmjägers, and grenades are going off. I managed to wipe out my squad there. But these Fallschirmjägers have killed 1 unit already, and they're quickly gaining veterancy. And so I'm going to capture this point. They didn't take the victory point. We have 2 victory points right now. They haven't been able to seem to crack either of us. Crack our defenses. Nick is, reinforcing again, getting healed up. And shooting right back at them and reinforcing, which is quite good. They do have a Maxim there, though. At this point, I see a Stuart. Now I know there's not going to be any major tanks from him for a while. Keep in mind, though, that these guys do a Panzerfaust, which is quite handy. But I don't have any ATs. So I'm going to be forced to get a combat package for these units and counter them that way. Yeah, that's really the main purpose here. So I'm giving my men combat packages. I'm sure he's going to try to rush with that tank and go after my troops here. And I have more Fallschirmjägers on the way. I have these guys right here. Really, I'm just kind of defending. I'm drawing my line like right along this wall here. And defending my troops that way. I do have the Panzerstrike out. The combat package for the Volksgrenadiers. And I'm kind of like daring his tank to make an assault on me because I have the anti-infantry right here. These units cost 440 manpower. They are 47 manpower to reinforce 1 guy. And I'm like, okay, he's going to try to kill these guys. I'll simply capture them, push back a little bit. And we have our Panzerstrike right here. And that's going to push him back. I'm not a big fan of the Stuart myself. I don't think I've actually... I think I made it 1 or 2 times. I just don't like the light. Like, it's great if you need to counter a flak half track, right? But it's a light vehicle. He just spent 80 fuel on that, 70 fuel on this. He's down 150 fuel, and I'm just saving up for a Panther. Let's just be honest. And now he's upgraded all his guys with light machine guns. But we have a counter to that. You can see they're doing a lot of damage. It's actually almost going to wipe out this unit. But they're in the open right now. And we are shooting right back. So I pull those guys back, but I'm doing a good job countering him, and he's almost lost his guy there. And because we're in the heavy cover right now, it's a pretty even fight, and his units are losing some health right now, losing some hit points. And they're throwing a grenade. I gotta fall back from that. Don't want to get my guys killed. And he's still got some units. These guys do not have light machine guns, thankfully. They only have 1 of the munitions. Let's go look at what's happening with Nick here. He's got the half-track out with grenade. Panzer Grenadiers. Pretty good counter action to snipers because you can like force them back. So they threw smoke on me. I'm gonna fire with my MG. I don't want to lose it. So I'm basically I pulled back all my forces. This is a little risky to leave nothing at the front line, but I figured it was worth it. You can see the R-47 manpower to reinforce. It was worth it to get my men healed up and ready for the next assault, because when you're fighting with low hit points on your troops, it's not gonna do your men justice. They're gonna get killed much more quickly. I'm trying to think if any of his guys have pretty low health. No, but these guys, yeah. Sometimes when they're really low health. Yeah, like, these guys don't have a ton of health right now. Anyway, the assault is coming up for the Soviets, and the guy's taking some points up here. That's okay. We're winning by VP, so that's what matters right now anyway. And I'm going to take my MG, but that's going to be short-lived because these guys started shooting at the enemy. I decided not to push up all the way. I know there's a tank here. Look, I have all my forces assembled. We're ready to do an assault. You know, I kind of every time he shoots at my MG, I was really waiting for these guys to come up, but I figured now or never. So I have the Fallschirmjägers to deal with the infantry and machine guns, and that's basically wipe out the Stewart. Grenade goes off. I managed to somehow get away, and I wiped out that squad. I think he got blown away by a Panzer Schreck. And meanwhile, Vet 1 on these guys killed 3 units, 3 infantrymen so far. Moving in. With our guys concentrating on them, we're doing a lot of damage. These guys really just don't take a lot of, fire, They're very disciplined, apparently, and excellent defense. But they don't have they're excellent offense, but don't have a great defense. And you can see, I won that hands down, basically, that engagement. These Fallschirmjägers are great. Great units. I'm going to get a 3rd squad also. So I figure Stewart's going to have to pull back. You can see he's pulling back his lines at this point. He built a fuel cache there. I'd much rather you prefer one. That's kind of my general rule. You want to build it like right here or here. Don't do one that's... Like, I want to put a fuel cache right here, obviously, so it goes to the front line. I might put one here because I feel like I have a strong defense, but right here is a little, like, when your lines are so fluid. So yeah, those snipers are being a nuisance to Nick. 12 kills already on them. But Nick has a half-track, which is great because he can reinforce his men that way. And he's pushing up. But they do have their own mortars and stuff over there. And I'm capturing the fuel up here, so now they basically have no fuel. They've neutralized that victory point, but we're still holding the center. As far as I haven't made any kind of push towards the center besides that initial one, I guess they think I can just shift over, which is true. These guys are vet too. I'm going to get them back to the front line shortly. And I have a 3rd Fallschirmjäger squad out. I mean, I just love this unit. You get 4 elite infantry with FG-42s with scopes. Like, what's not to like about that unit? Anyway, the snipers almost got killed there. There's a lot of his troops back at base. And this guy is getting ready. He set up his, I have to do this too with the Americans. He set up his major and his ambulance to kind of heal his troops up and just establish a forward retreat point. I'm like ready for this. I got 3 Fallschirmjäger squads. We're ready to go. These guys are going to charge at us. Light machine guns, bazookas, the anti-tank right here. I'm like, you can take that. That's your fuel. That's cool. I want the cover. Never mind. I'm going to move up. And he's got that Stewart, so I'm going to move in this formation. These guys almost got wiped out. So I have a light machine gun deploying right now. And the thing is, the Stewart is so easily countered by this. I'm just going to keep pushing up. Frank, I don't see that a whole lot can stop me here, so I'm going to keep pushing up. I'm going to try to take out the Stewart, even if it kills both my squads. And whoever missed that shot way right, that was bad. That was bad indeed. Anyway, I see this and I'm like, wow, that sounds like a good thing to shoot at. I thought it was fuel cache. Usually they're fuel caches. But he almost wiped out that squad there, so I just pulled both of them back. I figure, what's the point? I mean, obviously he's reinforcing right there. I gotta have like some kind of Panther or something, which I'm close to. Keep in mind, I haven't built this. I have built the Panzer headquarters, so I'm actually getting one right now. So I'm keeping my men. I'm working on establishing a retreat point once I get some manpower, and now my men retreat here. Panther's coming out. And these guys I'm going to reinforce back up at this point here. And I can also do the Valiant Assault. Or even the airborne assaults where I can drop some paratroopers behind enemy lines, the Fallschirmjägers. So you can see Nick has a Stuke 3. The Stuke 3 is quite good against infantry, but it's very vulnerable to AT, and it can't hit. Basically, Stuart can take it out. Like, it's good against infantry, not at all against armor. So I'm going to fall back with these units. I do have my Vet 2 machine gun here. I'm going to suppress these units, and then I'm going to pull back because I want to keep this unit alive, basically. Before they can throw some kind of grenade, I'm gonna get them back. You know, I'm like, okay, you can keep pushing up and taking this, but once my Panther comes out, I better have all these guys ready for an assault, and they're getting healed up, so not too worried. And I have these guys around here, but he brought up his Stuart, and I'm like, okay, let's see if prioritized vehicle works. Apparently, it only shoots if there's vehicles present. Because I remember with Jackson's originally, like if you prioritize vehicle, when you shoot infantry, he's just gonna try to get my guys out of the cover. I'm just gonna fall back. I'm like, okay, I'll show him like I have my infantry still as my man anti-tank. He'll be like, okay, cool, nothing to worry about. Yeah. And then the Panther comes up, and I'm like, Vet 5 on this unit. Moving up with my, yeah, those guys got wiped out. Moving up with these guys, Vet 2 now. And you can see we are winning this fight. I have a lot more of these guys that are going to start moving up. Making sure I don't do anything dumb with my Panther here, like losing it to a Jackson. Hit its side armor. That shell bounced off. But I see that captain right there, and I'm like, oh boy. Thankfully, I have my guys ready to repair right here. And they are still pushing up. He's pretty gutsy, you know. Nick, meanwhile, is just continuing to hold against the Soviet assaults. I do have a KV-1, but he does have anti-tank and a pack up here. And these guys, even with their Vet 2 now, and they can go into cover, which is awesome, so they can camouflage themselves, which makes them even more deadly. And now I have 3 of them, so he's going to make another big assault coming up here. He's gathering up his forces and he's repairing. And so he has 4 infantry squads, 3 of them with light machine gun riflemen, and then a captain. All veterans E3, and well, 2 veterans E3, 2 veterans E2. So I'm like, okay, he's got, you know, I think he underestimates how good these guys are, especially when they're veterans. Look how much we're striding this Vet 3 unit. And that unit's gone. Okay, up the captain's moving up. Time to switch target onto him and concentrate fire. Look at how fast that captain goes down. And I'm like, okay, time to move up. We have the Panther fully repaired. Let's head on up. I really want to hit this guy with the Panzer Shrek. He's going to deploy behind the building. Gotta make sure I don't lose that squad. That was close. Frankly, I don't want to keep, like, I want to, like, finish off him. I've been injuring him a lot. It's been going back and forth. We lost another squad there. 17 kills on this unit, 3 on that one. I was trying to hit that fuel cache again, but let's look at the fuel for them right now. They're getting 26 per minute and 26, and I'm getting 21, and Nick is getting 29. So it's about even on the field because they have that fuel cache and the territory after all. And I'm going to move these guys up. I'm bringing out my anti-tank units right now, currently. And I do not like this engagement for my men right here. I gotta fall back, and at this point I'm retreating activating the retreat slot, basically. The established retreat point, so that'll be right here. I'm not gonna build my 3rd headquarters. I do not need it at this point. So it's basically it's a battle. It's pretty close up here. I don't really need the fuel, to be honest. We've only had 1 fuel, and now there's no way they're getting 26 with a fuel. Yeah, 19. They're down to 75 points, as you can see that guy say, and they're shooting at my guys repairing. Your men are especially vulnerable when repairing, and I wasn't paying attention there for a second. I lost them. They even have an AT up there. But keep in mind, I'm just buying my time to reinforce and heal up these squads, and they're going to go right back out there and do some damage against these units here. And I have my troops up here at the Panzer Shrek, so that's all I can really afford at this point. Yeah, I mean, he can get another Jackson soon, but he's floating on manpower. He has a lot of stuff that, you know, he really should be. You shouldn't be using It's good you have a Jackson. You need to get that priority to be a second Jackson. So soon I'm going to do an airborne assault. I figured it'd be kind of a fun thing. He's, once again, taking this back. I have all my troops kind of gathered up here, and everyone's healed enough, basically, even though they're not completely healed. Nick is pushing in with his Tiger. And they even have an artillery gun against him, a howitzer. I'm now calling down right here an airborne assault. So what that does is it will basically recon for me. I'll drop with Fallschirmjägers, and it'll actually strafe enemies that are in that area too. It's a lot of manpower. Yeah, you see how it's like strafing around. Anyway, the major assault comes. This is a huge mistake. Look at how many men I have here. Fallschirmjägers, high veterancy. Wow, they just tried to blow him up. Nick, and they have the KV-1s moving in. Nothing's gonna stop these guys now. We're all veterans-y too. I'm moving in. This is my big assault. And that Jackson, look at that range, sniping away. I don't think you realize, that might have been the AT actually. I'm gonna keep pushing in with everybody. I'm gonna go, I know his command point, his retreat point's basically right here, so I'm gonna move in with that. Start hitting that. I'm vet 1. Unfortunately, I don't have any repairmen handy, so I'm gonna make one right now. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to overwhelm this position right here. I'm going to keep my Panther back. However, I'm going to move, these guys, the Fallschirmjäger is going to be targeting on that Jackson. These guys are going to be dealing with all the infantry that are going to be reinforcing. The Major's gone. Ambulance is pulling back. Look at that grenade right there in the middle of all of them. Did a lot of HP damage. Going to keep pushing up. But keep in mind, I have Fallschirmjägers right here. I'm going to start mowing down these units as they retreat. And that's when they decide to surrender. So those are the kills. I had 25 positive kills. Nick was positive by about 22. And he held his ground here against, determined opposition with a lot of support weapons, and the tanks got destroyed. I know I didn't show all of Nick's side, basically, but he was able to deal death to those KV-1s with the ATs, and the Tigers, a very deadly tool of war. And I was able to overcome my opponent mainly on the backs of my Fallschirmjägers, who had a decent amount of kills, 24 on this, 6 on that. If I was just using Volksgrenadiers, I would have not stood a chance against those Vet 3 riflemen, especially upgraded with these light machine guns. Confirm 221 signing off. Leave a comment down below. Are you happy with the 100th video? Did you enjoy it? Let's look forward to Season 3. Confirm 221 signing off.